moving forward. Glenn Beck is having a great trip out to the Valley, and he's getting treated obsequiously by tech CEOs, and he's given an amazing opportunity to blog on a super elite, little discovered, soon-to-be launched platform called Medium. And now he's in the meeting with Mark Zuckerberg, and he's with his fellow conservatives. And maybe it's because Glenn Beck is he's a very personally influenced guy, and maybe he's realizing that he's friends with these tech CEOs, and now as he's listening to his fellow conservatives, he wants to know exactly, wait, what is it that we're calling for Facebook to do? This is disturbing. Let's check out what Glenn Beck has to say now.
So there was the algorithm problem. There was the perception of bias, which I think comes from the years of frustration with the mainstream media. But then when I heard some of the solutions, and again, maybe I misread, but this is what I heard. One person said, you admit that you're in Silicon Valley, and you admit that you're pulling from this pool that is very liberal. So one of the solutions, 3%, and they said it in a joking fashion, 3% of the country is Mormon, so you should have 3% of your population in Facebook and your employees Mormon. You should balance your staff conservative and liberal. And Mark even said, I felt that he wanted to say that, you know what, we should consider that. Maybe we should.
Just a note, he was told he can't quote directly about this meeting, so that's why there's that pause there.
He felt it.
And
so Mark
Zuckerberg,
Zuckerberg,
we'd have to ask
probably said that.
People if they're conservative, can we do that? And Cheryl said,
the answer is, of course, no.
No. She's like, no. And he's like, well, why can't we ask that? She's like, because it's against the law. And he's like, well, but that would help us if we could do that. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, we can ask people if they're white or black, right? And she's like, no, that's why you don't run HR. No, we can't do any of those things. Okay. But what I heard was affirmative action.
That's what it
The
sounds
solution was affirmative action. The next solution from somebody else was, and meant in an honest way. Okay, you can't hire people. Maybe, you know what? Why don't you do 6 months where you bring people like us in and you do diversity or sensitivity training?
You've got to be kidding me.
And they didn't.
Thanks for
they didn't say.
Conservatives are suggesting diversity training?
Yes. Now, they didn't use the word diversity or sensitivity. They said, bring us in and you do classes for 6 months and we'll teach people about conservatives and what they're like so they'll be more sensitive to what is important to us. That's sensitivity training.
It's everything we hate.
And that's when those two comments, that's when I said something controversial that maybe rightfully so, nobody in the room wanted to talk to me. Because I said...
We wanted to talk to you?
I know. I didn't make a lot of friends yesterday. Because I came out and I said, I feel like I'm in the room with Jesse Jackson and the Rainbow Coalition.
Yeah, well, that's what it sounds like.
Right, this is not us.
That's what it sounds like.
I think by saying that, I pissed a lot of people off because I don't think they meant it that way, but that's why I was hearing it.
And that's why people came on Fox News just this morning and said you sucked up. That's why.
I missed that episode of Fox News, but it doesn't matter. That's what happened.
I've missed a lot of episodes of Fox News. That's fascinating. And I think whatever else you say about Jesse Jackson, what an unbelievable insult to Jesse Jackson. The guy was the guy, whatever else you say about it, he literally had to be there when MLK was assassinated. And now he's getting compared to a room. And what's great is that Glenn Beck's like, look, even if my business is imploding, I still got cash money, okay? And I'm getting invited to blog on a new thing called Medium. So I don't think that I need to hustle sensitivity training contracts.
You know, they need affirmative action if they're news, because it's not as true. Like,
of course they need affirmative action. What are you going to do? Spend 6 months in Silicon Valley being like, see, conservatives, we don't, it's not that we hate gay people. It's not that we don't want to have rights.
I mean, the whole way the Kochs took over the think tanks, that was basically affirmative action for conservative ideas.
Whole conservative media infrastructure is failing up in affirmative action. People who have the greatest job security in America make their living off of advocating policies to torture everybody else, other than the small group of people that can subsidize their useless work.
Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.